Well, this year's Olympic trials were marred by activist athletes trying to push their woke agendas on Americans. Our next guest sent a letter this week to the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee about these protests, asking them to remind athletes of Rule 50 of the International Olympic Committee's Olympic Charter, which says, quote, no kind of demonstration or political, religious, or racial propaganda is permitted in any Olympic site, venue, or other areas. Well, for more on this, let's welcome in Montana Congressman Matt Rosendale. Congressman Rosendale is also a member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Congressman, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on tonight.
So, Congressman, you sent this letter with a bunch of your other colleagues. First of all, have you gotten a response? And second of all, I guess the thing that's really interesting, and I was just listening to Lindsay read the criteria there. I'm going to guess that an athlete says, sort of kneeling or doing something that is not a political, I'm just trying to think of how they're going to word it, that they're not going to say that Rule 50 applies to them.
Well, if they try to, in any way, disgrace the American flag, the American symbol, I think we all know what it is. Rule 50 lays it out pretty clearly. No racial, no religious, no political demonstrations or propaganda shall be allowed or used on any of the sites or venues. And I think that the Olympic Committee should be able to go out there and monitor that properly. What's really disappointing, especially coming from the state of Montana, which, in case you didn't see the poll about 2 weeks ago that came out and said we are the most patriotic state in the nation, is to see these Olympic athletes that used all of the resources of our country to train and be able to compete, and then to go to the level, which is a very, very high honor, and to be able to compete in the Olympic Games, and then to take the very people and the resources that helped you get there and defy them and denounce them. It's quite disappointing, quite frankly.
Absolutely. Have you heard back from the committee? And if not, what do you hope that the ramifications are for athletes who might take a stance or take a knee during the flag?
You know, we have not heard back from the committee at this point. And as long as they uphold their own rules, then I don't need to hear back from the committee. If they don't uphold their rules, then that's a point where I'm going to go back to my other colleagues and see if we can find any place where the Olympic Committee is receiving, and these athletes are receiving, additional privileges, whether it's through the tax code or any other area, that maybe they need to be revoked. But at this point, I'm trying to just give them some incentive, to encourage them to conduct their affairs properly. This is the kind of thing when the American people, they look at the Olympic Games, all they want to see is the competition. If you look back at 1980, when the men's U.S. hockey team won against the Russians, the miracle on ice, it was such a showing of patriotism across the nation, an outpouring of it, and pride. That's what we want to see. People right now want to watch our athletes compete against the rest of the world, and we want to see them be victorious. But once they are victorious, we want them to be as proud of America as we are of them. Again, that's America right. Has lifted more people out of poverty and oppression than any other country on earth, and we've asked nothing in return. And so we should be proud of that.
The thing that I've always said about this is that you're going to represent the United States. This isn't some individual championship where it's the world, track and field or the world basketball. You're going to represent America. When you go through the trials, they're U.S. trials for X sport. So if you don't want to represent America, if you just want to go do your own thing and win a world record as an individual, you're more than free to do that. In this case, I think what you're doing is the right thing to do. The question, though, to me is this something that's bipartisan, or are you just finding Republicans find this to be an issue?
I think that you're going to find that there's a lot more Republicans that are concerned with this issue than there are Democrats. We continue to see the Democrats push this whole critical race theory and the idea that America is just completely flawed. I don't accept that premise. I think we are a great nation. I think that we shouldn't erase our history. I think we should learn from our history. But I think we are a great nation. We do wonderful things, have done wonderful things, and we should celebrate and embrace that and continue to improve in the areas that we need to.
Absolutely. Congressman, before we let you go, I do want to get your take on this. You're on the House Veterans Affairs Committee, and I want to turn to Afghanistan. U.S. troops are officially withdrawing from the region by August 31st. I've heard you speak on this before. I know that you are very clear in your stance that you think we've been there way too long, but there are concerns that the Taliban is going to fill that void. We saw tragically today them kill a Reuters journalist. And then also people are concerned about China moving in and getting a strategic foothold. Do you think that we're going to look back at some point and wish that America played the long game here strategically? Should we have some type of presence there? Only have about a minute left for you.
Look, we have been in Afghanistan for 20 years. We sent our sons and daughters there, and now we've got the sons and daughters of our sons and daughters that are fighting in Afghanistan. We have tried to assist those people so that they can take and defend their own nation. And there comes a time when they have to defend their own nation, and it's time for us to pull out. President Ghani has said that he thinks he's going to be able to take control over the situation. I think it's time for him to do so.
Congressman Rosendale, thank you very much for what you're doing to stand up for our flag, for our patriotism. I appreciate it. I hope you do get an answer back to your letter.
Thank you so much for allowing me to join you tonight.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.